everyone, this is CJ992 and today we're back for the brand new video, and it's been a couple of days. It's actually nearly been a week since me and thee got to sit here and talk about some football things. Now I imagine there'll be a lot of people who were hoping to have saw an upload previously during the actual week because the window is still open, by the way, Rangers. Some talent is needed in this football club, but truthfully there's just nothing real that's actually out there, you know what I mean? It's ifs, maybes and pipe dreams and made up rumour nonsense just to keep the clickbaits coming in. So I wasn't want to get involved in anything that when something does come across the table, we'll go ahead and actually discuss it. But we know the Champions League dream went ahead and lost and failed in that aspect, and I think a lot of our potential rebuild, potential signings have fallen down the old wayside as well. But what we do actually have is a game tomorrow, and as we do need to get back at it, as it might just be the last time me and thee need to sit here and talk about Hampden until maybe latter stages of cup competitions, you know what I mean? As Ibrox is almost ready, are we? Let's go ahead and find out. And you know, sir, I've actually just realised and clocked what kit I'm actually wearing today. Talk about a bad omen that, because this kit is remembered for the Yellows' debut, scoring 2 goals, but us throwing points away versus Ross County. So I'll be back in a second, because there's no way I'm making it and bringing the bad juju into this fixture. Oh, no, definitely not that one. There, that's a wee bit better, isn't it? You know what I mean? Let's just go in with this with fresh ideas and some maybe optimism there, I actually say. But before we actually go ahead and get to the Rangers then, as there is several things to talk about, not only Ibrox, the squad, injuries, the usual malarkey we always find ourselves dealing with, let's do what we always do. Let's take a look at tomorrow's dance partner and have a look at Ross County side, who at my current time of recording are sitting 8th in the old league. Now, for the channel legends that are currently watching today's video and the guys that tune into each and every single upload, you've sort of heard my thoughts and opinions briefly on a Ross County side before a ball was actually kicked. As again, we went ahead and made a league prediction video, and again I put them to finish rock bottom before a ball was kicked. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now a couple of weeks later that ball is sort of floating around the old atmosphere. I've got to admit I am backing down and doubling down on my overall prediction, as I've actually seen a bit of optimism in a prediction for once, you know. I mean, my prediction for them to finish bottom, I'm not hating it right now. And you know, me and predictions didn't get on well, but this Ross County side, there is something just missing with them, and that's despite how tough they've always made it to play, and they've seemed to always be a difficult side for us to play. And spoil it for the rest of the video, I'm still expecting it to be a difficult game, but we're talking about the Ross County side and how they've changed and what type of side that they actually are now. Well, they're a side that's lost the likes of Simon Murray, and you can say whatever you want about the laddie, but he rolls his sleeves up, he runs himself into a grunt, and he scored some massively vital goals for that football club that gave them vital points and helped them stay in this division, as did the man that was pulling the strings, the puppeteer, if you will, Mr. Danda, who we've already spoken about both in the Motherwell video and obviously the Hearts video. But you know, he's the most creative force, so to get that gutted from a side like Ross County is always going to negatively affect a Ross County squad, and that sort of summarises where they actually are. They're trying to find different answers to solutions they previously had answers for, but they're struggling right now, and it seems to be just chopping. And that's the squad they currently look right now, and that's despite me sitting here saying that they're sitting 8th right now after 2 games. That's not the worst result in the world. I'm sure if there's a couple of Ross County fans that are actually watching today's video, they'll be happy-ish with the league position, but they won't be happy overall with the actual performances. And again, if you look at it, 2 points from the opening 2 games isn't the actual worst, especially when you're supposed to be favourite for one of the favourites, to actually go down. But it's the way they're performing in these performances, you know what I mean? They started the season off with a damp squid 0-0 game. Danny, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Rangers a bit later on, but they were really poor versus Motherwell with very little quality on actual show. They then had to rely on a 95th minute equaliser versus newly promoted Dundee United to grab a point at home to save them from getting beat of Dundee United. Despite playing well in parts in that game, I thought, in fact, I'd say that's their best overall performance of the season in stages versus United. But it leads us right to where we are today, ladies and gentlemen. Ross County's recent game, or most recent game, was a 1-0 loss to Spartans, as Spartans sent Ross County home, which is a massive, massive result, and congratulations to Spartans and everything like that. But if you look at it from the Ross County perspective, you should never have been going into that game and get knocked out the cup competition so damn early, because this wasn't a Spartan side that was led by Jerry Butler. Nah. This was a Spartan Spartan side for the 5th division of Scottish football. And if you actually watch the game, and if you look into the game, and if you read into the actual game, this wasn't a hard luck story. You know what I mean? You know how Hearts got put out by Falkirk, and Boys had a sitter, Hearts had massive chances in the game before they ended up getting stung by Falkirk. Sorry, it wasn't that type of game. Spartans actually deserved it. So again, massive congratulations. But we're here to talk about the dance partner and the loser in that game in Ross County. And that's why I think they're actually struggling, because 6 either starting 11 from the game that started versus Spartans, I'm expecting to play tomorrow versus Rangers. And 9 of them stood out, even against that level. So they are in a very difficult situation right now, and it's going to be a very uphill battle if they're going to be remaining in the division. But we've seen this Ross County side punch upwards before and sting us before when we've took them too lightly. So I can only hope everything in my fibre and my being that we're not taking this squad lightly than Mora, despite their early struggle. Because as much as we've talked about talent leaving the Ross County squad, they've still got some interesting and potentially hurtful pieces in their actual squad. No at this level or anything like that, but I'm talking about them in this competition where they can go ahead and hurt you. And that takes us to Jordan White, who has hurt us in the past and who actually has a pretty decent goal ratio versus Rangers, by the way. And he's a guy that seemingly turns into Crespo every single time he's against any of our centre halves. He's a pure aerial demon, if you actually will, and he feasts on our centre-back's inability to get off the ground each and every single time. And the big man comes into this game having scored 4 goals in his opening 7 appearances at the start of this season. Now granted, every single one of those goals were in the early stages of the Scottish League Cup group stages versus lower league opposition like Raith Rovers, Hamilton and Stranraer. I love doing references that free people get. Like, anyone watch Phoenix Night? Nah, it's not TikTok, don't worry about it. Anyway, so Stranraer, right, so he's scoring at that level and everything like that. But again, he's still putting the ball in the back of net. The goals didn't move, and you know what their game plan's going to be. You know where we are actually weak. So he is a potential danger man again from each and every single set piece. But again, I'm not necessarily saying he'll start, because Hale, who scored versus Dundee United's a handful runs about, puts himself about. You've got Eamon Brophy as well, who will probably start the game. We know him from obviously the Rugby Park, Joel Worrell, Malarkey and everything like that. It's amazing the amount of years that's passed, yet still we see centre halves and us making those blatant defensive mistakes. It's painful. It's a cruel game, this supporting Rangers Football Club Malarkey. But anyway, Brophy is there, probably run his heart out for 65 minutes for straight. Noy, try and wind up the centre halves, and then he'll probably come off for Jordan White just to get everything chucked at them if there's something still in the game for Ross County. And again, that is a big if that hopefully isn't on the table. But as we've said before, 0-0 and 1-0 and everything like that isn't the worst case scenario for Ross County. Obviously a 0-0's no, but even 1-0 behind to Rangers isn't the worst case scenario, because that gives them belief going into the last 15-20 minutes to start chucking some balls in and start being a wee bit braver. It's on this Rangers team to strangle the life out of them, and the optimism, the hope for them. And that's what I really hope to see tomorrow. Just a big, bold, brave, rampant performance there. I actually say something we used to see quite a lot of a couple of years ago. We've not seen it much lately, but there's a team that's coming into this game limping. Will we actually go ahead and attack them and put the foot down right away and kill this game off? Or will we sit and do the tippy-tappy long ball stuff to nobody and allow them to get some confidence? I guess we'll find out. And again, that's all I've got to say about this Ross County side, that again, I have talked about potentially finishing bottom and blah blah blah, all this struggling to come into it. But again, it's a game of football and you know they'll be up for it. And you know why and how I know they're up for it? Because they always are. Can we actually get, do you know what, can I just see the boys in the Rangers dressing room treat the games? Because everyone says, well, they always run their arse off because it's against the Old Firm and everything like that. Well, can we actually just run our arse off for once? Because we're actually playing for the Old Firm. Do you know what I mean? If we get to our level, we shouldn't be worried or nervous, but we very rarely get to our level these days, and that's why the worry and the potential threat of a big, honest, hard-working, set-piece specialist side, if you will, in Ross County could be a pain in the jacksy tomorrow. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of this will be what Rangers allow it to actually be. Let's hope they're an unforgiving, no messing about mood as we transition away from the Ross County side and get to the old Rangers side. And as I said right at the very start of today's video in terms of the old intro, we have had a little break, me and Dee, regarding the talk in the news, because there was a spell with the Champions League qualifiers, transfers, potential this, stadium malarkey. We were making videos every 2 or 3 days and you were seeing maybe too much of me, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? And when you get in that, you almost get tunnel vision, because it's like preview video madness, preview video madness, over and over again. Now we've had 4 or 5 days to just take a break, take a breather and try and get a bit of perspective in terms of what we're actually getting this season, where we are, who we are and where we will be. And I think the latter there is obviously where I'm going to pick up next, because again we have got some good news to bring you for once. I know I brought you a lot of bad news and a lot of negative news so far this summer, but again we're taking a massive step in the right direction in terms of Ibrox. Not only is all the free shipments here now, but they're being installed, they're working on the grass and all that stuff now. Again, I'm not sitting here saying it'll definitely be in the books for the next cup game or the game versus Hibs, but it's looking promising and actually some positivity for once, you know what I mean? The dark clouds getting a couple beam rays of sunshine through it, and that's what I want to sit here and actually say, because at one point it looked like the Hibs game in the league game that was supposed to be Ibrox looking like a Hampden. The best case scenario was that could be it. If everything goes right and if we get everything absolutely spot on, we could be back at Ibrox for that game. Well, ladies and gentlemen, where it looks like it is right now is we might just fall on the right side of luck for once, as everything is moving in the right direction, and I hope with every fibre of my being we are truly back home the next home match we have. But again, that's an update on the future. It doesn't really impact this game, but again it gives me a perfect transition into where I'm going in my sort of mindset with this, because I feel like the Ibrox stuff's coming to a close, you know what I mean? The Hampden frustration, the negativity, fans don't want to go there, fans getting shafted here, there with terrible tickets, all the negative stuff both on and off the park this season. I feel like it's starting to just get to a stage where we can move away for, or at least clear one thing off the actual deck. I know there's a mess pretty much everywhere we look, you know, when we turn around we just see another John Bennett disaster everywhere we go, but you know, we're moving closer. The stadium issue is nearly fixed, and that again will give us something to actually get behind, and then I can just hope we can start to look and do everything we need today. But regarding this game, ladies and gentlemen, this could be our last game at Hampden until potentially again later in the cup competitions, and let's actually wrap it up. Let's end this difficult, poor, frustrating, toxic, negative, whatever word you want to actually use these days to the start of this season. Let's wrap it up in a nice neat little bow, get the win, sign off, hopefully say goodbye to Hampden and get back to winning ways. And again, we're against a side that should on paper give us an opportunity to flex what muscle we actually have. Let's hope the team's been at the gym, because we certainly aren't bringing in any bodybuilders anytime soon, or that can directly impact this game anyway, as again we're sort of stuck in this limbo between duffers and potential and optimism and everything. But every time we try and take a step forward, it's like my favourite song for GTA San Andreas, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. We are stuck in a complete rut right now in terms of our transfer, our squad rebuild, blah 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 blah. And again, all we can hope with 7 days to go, or just over 7 days to go until the window closes, is we actually get some news to talk about. But there's nothing, you know what I mean? I keep getting comments saying, where's the transfers, where's the transfers, where's the transfers? When there's actually stuff to talk about, we'll talk about it right here on the channel. But right now, where we stand, we need to move some of the duffers out there that the manager doesn't want. We need to move some of the over bloated massive wages that's bleeding this club dry week in and week out compared to what they're impacting and bringing in terms of the results on the park. We need to move some of that before we've got some manoeuvrability, if you will, in terms of bringing in people. Now that the Champions League money is gone, we're not getting that financial reprieve, the opportunity to do this, that and that. It's all gone, so we've kind of got the box of toys that we've got right now, and we need to figure out how to get them coming in and bringing in what they can do right now until potentially some move on and we bring in a couple. Because ladies and gentlemen, surely with this left to the transfer window, we're at least bringing in somebody and a game changer somewhere, because badly this middle of the park's been overrun nearly every single game. I love wee Baron. Diamandi's obviously our best technically gifted player and everything like. He's definitely got sun, but it's not working. We do not have a midfield, so surely, ladies and gentlemen, by the time this window closes, a couple dominoes would have fell in terms of outs, so we can actually bring in the guy Clement's been begging for in press conferences, if you're paying attention, in the middle of the park. And when that does happen, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and speak about it. But unfortunately, it's not looking likely right now. So hopefully that addresses some of the questions I've had during the week regarding transfers, and all that's left else to do is give you an update regarding the actual squad. And for once, there's no fresh major concerns. You know what I mean? There was some stuff put out about Sterling being broken his arm. He's going to be out for a while, but he wore a cast in his last game. I thought everybody had saw that from the actual game, you know what I mean? So he's fine. He's not going to be injured for months or anything like that. He's all good, and that, well, obviously he's not all good. He's probably got a broken arm or something like that, but he's going to be able to play through it. Probably means we won't see him at right back anytime soon, but again, that is where we are. Cortez is back on grass training and everything. It's going to be a wee while to build him back up. Raskin is progressing, ladies and gentlemen, whatever that means, and again, maybe the wee man is needed in the middle of the park, but I've never got the impression that Clement actually really wants Raskin. I don't know if you agree with that down in the comments section below. I don't think that's the player he's actually wanting in the middle of the park, and everyone else remains the same. Leon Balogun's obviously closer now and can play if selected by the gaffer. And truthfully, that's all I've really got to say. And again, if I'm honest with you, the fact that I'm not having to sit here and lambast and moan about a new fresh injury and new Takeshi's Castle S training stuff we're doing at Auchenhowie hurting our players, I'm actually alright with it, you know what I mean? So let's just go ahead, get the 3 points, get the win, get a bit of positivity behind us, leading us in to next week, where again, hopefully we'll have another boost of some people leaving and bringing in a couple people just to give us a bit of sun to look forward to going in to this season. I feel like the dark cloud's starting to part a little bit, but again, we've got to go in there and spread it and make sure it doesn't come back. But again, we are often our worst own enemy, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm just going to be hopeful we're taking one step in the right direction, and that starts tomorrow. I'm going to go Rangers 3, Ross County 1. I just don't believe us defensively from set pieces, but I think we will have enough going actual forward. As Dessers is just doing his thing right now with 3 goals in his last 4 games, and as much hatred and stuff like that he gets from certain sections of the support, and some people no believing in him, where would we be afoot Dessers? If Dessers did go a couple of weeks ago when the bid was accepted, all this malarkey, where we got Danilo? Did he look ready versus St Johnson? Igamani, is he ready to jump in? He's not even ready to take part in full training just yet. So you know what I mean, sometimes it's better the devil you know than the devil you actually don't, and that could be Dessers' entire storyline for this season. Again, no little negative that I kind of never spoke about too much in terms of the injuries is proper not actually being able to play. So we know what that means. Hopefully it's Suter and Leon Balogun, because if it's Suter and Davies versus Jordan White and Ayer, could be a long afternoon. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully a good performance and hopefully seeing 3 points delivered. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. And until next time, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best and bye bye.